Hey, hi, Lisa Marie here. And yes, something happened again today, and I was asked a question, and it really got me to thinking. It just got me to thinking about this of how to be successful at losing weight. And we need to plan to fail. What? I know. Is that crazy? It's crazy. But first of all, what is failing? What does failing something mean to you? Normally it means, we're not measuring up. Well, to what? To whose standard? I mean, really, to what? Or failure to a lot of people means not completing or following through with something, right? Most people view failure as a negative or something bad or wrong or what have you. But that's not how God intended it to be. God intended it to be for us a learning experience. What? That's why the Bible is full of failures, so that we can learn from it. And like they did. So think of it. Think of babies. When they start moving on their own, what do? First of all, they roll over, right? Hold their heads up, and they roll over, and then they crawl, and then they walk, and then they run. And some of them never stop running, right? So we have a new baby tummy, and some days we're going to be on the right path, and we are going from turning over to crawling. And sometimes we go from crawling to walking to flat out running. And then we aren't always thinking so clearly. And that's okay. What happens? They fall down. But what happens? They get back up. Yeah, you cry a little, you get brushed off, mommy kisses it, off you go. You do it again. I don't know of very many babies or children that just stop. That didn't feel so good. I'm not going to do it. I am never walking again. No, they don't do that. They learn from it. They learn from the experience and then keep moving and progressing forward, which is the whole thing, right? We want to progress. So, I made a few notes so that I wouldn't get derailed, which I happen to do that. The thing about us is that we're living through this journey just like babies, but we're adults. Huh? What? We're adults. We know stuff. And we can actually get an advantage. And that is we get to plan, right? I mean, you're going to that wedding. You're going to be going to a potluck or a social. You're going to be at a bar or a restaurant. You're going on a date. You're going out with friends. You're going shopping, whatever. These things are coming, right? Am I alone? I hope not. I know I didn't really think of them when I was first losing weight. I thought I was just going to be a little hermit and hole up in my house, but no. Life happens, and all of these things happen, and we want to enjoy them, and we want to be out there, right? So we need a plan, right? And we need to prepare for it and start it now. And a lot of people, I'm at work and I moved to a much closer spot, so now there's like all this activity going around, sorry. We need to have something that they call a toolbox. We need to have these things that we can put into practice, or at least recall to our brain, and have them ready when things happen. And if you don't think about it ahead of time of it possibly happening to you, then you won't be prepared. You won't know what to do or what to say or how to act or whatever. You're going to make unwise choices because you weren't prepared. You didn't plan for it. So I know you've heard that old saying, if you fail to plan, you've planned to fail, right? And that's exactly what we, food addicts, diet addicts, whatever, we need to do. We need to plan for these different times. And I know, you know, all of the normal stuff like always have food with you, always have a snack in your bag, always drink your water, don't eat and drink at the same time, make these healthy choices. Don't eat before, or do eat before going to an event, and do eat before going shopping. Worst thing, going shopping when you're hungry, worst thing. Call ahead and ask, you know, what they're going to be serving, or look at the menu online, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? All of that's like the normal stuff we actually know, and we should be doing that. But I think the thing that we forget to plan for is, what do we do when we don't make a wise choice? What do we do when we don't stick to our plan? What do we do when we don't pull out those tools out of our tool belt? Huh? What happens then? I mean, we've all been there. Sometimes it's just a moment of weakness. Sometimes it's pressure. Sometimes it's all kinds of stuff that can lead to it. So here's something that I've been doing. And I am totally not good at all this, for sure. I fail miserably, unfortunately. But this is helping me. And this is what I'm a little bit quicker to do now when I find I have made an unwise choice. First of all, fess up. Fess up. Fess up, if to nobody else on this planet, to yourself, of what just happened, and be truthful. Be truthful and honest, because how can we change or fix something that's broken if we don't know it's broken? Right? That's what I believe. And that will get us further than you can even imagine. Okay, number 2, you got to fess up to God. Yeah, that's right. We got to fess up to Him. Yeah, He already knows. He already knows what we've done, the choices we've made. However, do you realize it brings Him joy? It pleases His very heart and soul when we take something that we know we've done wrong and we go to Him and we fess up. I mean, think of your own kids or your nieces or your nephews, or if you're a boss, your coworkers. When you know they've made an unwise choice, you see it, you know it, and then they come to you and they fess up about it, don't you just go, oh my gosh, they realize, you know, my teaching's been good. They realize what's going on. You know, oh my gosh, wait, now I got to think of something to do as a discipline or correct them with. God doesn't do that. Well, sometimes He does. But the point is, it brings Him joy and pleasure when we take these things to Him. And we need to, for anything ourselves. Okay, the third thing, you got to talk it out or journal it. And if you talk it out, it has to be with someone that is a trusted friend, or another person who's been on the same journey as you and that can relate with you, because it just needs to be someone that you trust, or journal it out. And then this is kind of the hard thing that I've been having to do, is I've been journaling it out, or I talk it out with my husband sometimes. And then I have a couple of girl friends that I do that with too. But you need to ask yourself some really important questions. First of all, what led to that choice I made? What led to that choice? We actually made a choice. We might want to try to blame someone or point the finger at someone else. Oh, they did this and that and the other. But look, 3 fingers are pointing right back at us, at me. What led to that choice that I made? It's a choice. It's not really right or wrong in that moment. It could be wise or unwise, healthy or unhealthy, but we made a choice, and we need to take ownership for that. That's a hard thing for us who've hidden from this stuff forever. And that's how we stuffed ourselves and got so fat. Me anyway. And then ask ourselves, what was going on? What was happening? Was there stress? Was there chaos? Was there fear? Was there embarrassment? Was there maybe a longing or a wanting or a desire? that overrode sanity? We need to ask ourselves that. And then the other really important thing is that a lot of us don't realize is sometimes these triggers, these things bring up a past emotion of some sort. And it could be after we made the choice. After you made the choice, what past thing did that bring up? So now, the fourth big thing, we have to do a plan of attack. We need to think of what, maybe go back and replay it. What could we have done differently? Not should, because shoulding just gives us shame. And shame is like doo-doo, which sounds like shitting on yourself. Not what you should do, because you made a choice, and that's okay. But what could we have done differently? And if you're happy with your choice, then don't worry about it. Move on. Don't be so hard on yourself. And then when we're faced with this challenge, again, because we will be, it's life. And unless you plan on going home to Jesus tomorrow, it's going to happen again. What will you do? What will you do differently? Now, the big part, this is like really super hard for a lot of people, and it's hard for me. It really is. The biggest thing then now that we have to do is forgive ourselves. That's right. Forgive yourself. And I know it is easier said than done. Believe me, I understand that. But why? Why is it easier said than done? I mean, don't you believe that God actually forgives you when you confess a sin? I do. I know my Indian give them sometimes, but don't you know that it's like a grain of sand? He takes that little confession that you did and goes, okay, I forgive you. He drops that grain of sand, where? To the bottom of the ocean, amongst the billions of other grains of sand, right? And even when I think I'm being an Indian giver, and I want to take that back, or I want to put punishment on myself for something that I've asked him for forgiveness for and he's forgiven me, that would be like me trying to go down to the bottom of the ocean and finding that one little itty bitty tiny piece, grain of sand that was my sin. Can we do that? I don't think so. Try it. Go ahead. I dare you. Try it. Even if you scoop a handful of sand at the beach, and you pull out one and you go, all right, this is going to be my grain of sand of whatever, and you still have a handful of sand, and you take that piece of sand and you put it in there and kind of mix it up, try and find it. Try. You can't. Why? Because it's forgotten. It's done. It's past. It's old. It's not there. It's gone. So the other thing we need to do, forgiving ourselves, is beyond huge. I'm telling you, it's huge. It's the biggest one, is to say positive affirmations to ourselves. And if you're talking it out to a friend, hopefully, that person's going to do it for you. They're going to tell you the things that you would tell someone that came to you, right? Your best friend, or if somebody else that's on the same journey as you came to you and confided something in you, how horrible they feel about a choice that they made, what would you say to them? Wouldn't you say, this moment doesn't define you. Come on, look how far you've come. You're okay. We can do this. What's next? You're worthy of having a healthy life. And this is okay. You're strong. You deserve to move forward and be well and make these other choices, right? Wouldn't we encourage someone like that? And if you have a really good friend, the trusted person, hopefully they're not an enabler so much, like I can be sometimes, especially to myself. But hopefully they will be a good friend, and they will then ask you and say to you the hard things like, okay, so what happened? What'd you do? What choice did you make and why? And what are you going to do so that you don't do it again? And what do you plan to do next time? What's going to be in your toolbox, so to speak? And how are you going to prevent this from happening? They can brainstorm with you. And the big one is, well, so what have you learned from this? I mean, some people are not brave enough to ask us these questions. And then really, all right, so you messed up. Okay, it's done, it's over, it's yesterday. We cannot change the past, right? We can change right now. So what are you going to do right now? This minute, this second, this hour. What are you going to do right now? I'm not going to say don't beat yourself up, because I'm telling you, hello, I am like the queen of that. We all do it. We all are super hard on ourselves and we beat ourselves up. But the thing is how long are you going to let yourself be in that? How far are you going to let that derail you? Because I'm telling you, the farther you let it go, the longer you let the derail go, then when you go to step on the scale, that one unwise choice has then led to 15, 20, 30, 100, can't even count, which then adds up. The scale's in a different way, and then, oh lordy, it's a whole different ball game there, right? So every day, God gives us a new day, right? It's not yesterday. He doesn't give us yesterday again. We are not living Groundhog's Day over and over. He gives us a new day, a fresh day, a clean start, clean slate, A+, so to speak. But it is up to us to keep it that way, right? It's up to us to make those choices that do it that way. But here's the awesome and an exciting thing. Even if we've already started the day and we started it out well and we made good choices, and then we made a choice that wasn't so good, guess what? Our seconds are like hours to God, and our hours are like seconds to Him. We get to start over any time of the day. Any time of the day. Right now, this minute, we get to start over. Who gets to do that? We do. We do. That's right, we do. So, if I can encourage you with anything, and you really want to succeed at your weight loss journey, however you've chosen to start that, by a different food plan, by a weight loss surgery, by working out like a crazy person, whatever, and you've gotten yourself off track and you've derailed, maybe you've regained, maybe you've gotten lazy, whatever, all these little adjectives that we want to tell ourselves, knock it off. Because you are worthy. You are special and you deserve to be successful. And the only way to do that is we have to plan for the times that we fail. Yeah, that's setting up the toolbox and getting that all there too. But we also need to plan who's going to be on our side, who's going to be our calling source, whatever you want to call that. Who can we reach out to when we have made an unwise choice? And who will be there to be that true friend, a true listener, and someone that'll tell us some truthful stuff and ask us the hard questions. That's what we need to do. We need to plan that way, and that's how we'll have success. Okay? Have a great rest of your day. If you have any ideas of something or anything like that, please share it. Please share it. And I will talk to you later.